Hey, house guests! This is producer Ezra. This audio episode is going to sound a little bit different than usual, but it's going to be a great one, and I hope you enjoy. Bye.
Hey hotties, welcome back to the Real House Guest of North Hollywood. I am your host, as always, Carson Frey. We're in for a solo today. How's everyone doing? I feel like there are probably some planets in retrograde, but I'm not like LA enough to know. It's just so hot in the valley, you guys. We just, like, astrology just dies here. Producer Ezra is looking at me like, lies. I was asked last night what time I was born. It's a fun week. Bravo, I feel like, is back in like a fun spot. We have so much to watch. Felt like the last couple weeks I was covering shows that I was like, this is the best thing on Bravo because this is the only thing on Bravo right now. Unless you watch like Below Deck and all that. And like, if you're Below Decky, let me know. Because like low-key, I kind of like Below Deck too. But it's a lot to cover. It's a lot of TV to watch. And it's not just like watching the TV. It's like, let me give y'all a take that you can't just find someone else because there are a million Bravo podcasts, you know? Yeah, I'm going to a release party for Thea. She wrote this Vanderpump trivia book. It's great. I've posted on my Instagram. You guys should all buy the book. It's amazing. I really want to host like some Vanderpump trivia, like because the book is so well written, and I'm really excited to celebrate Thea, and the party's at Sir. So whenever the next episode is, you'll get a recap of my night at Sir. And I'm thinking soon, you guys, because I got time on my hands. I want to do just like a overall Vanderpump food review. You know, maybe go to something about her again because it's been a while. Y'all know I'm at Schwartz and Sandy's way too much, but I thought maybe I'll take some new people there and get the food. I never get the food. If you do go to Schwartz and Sandy's, though, I will say the best food thing to order from experience is it's called Schwartz's Strawberry Cheesecake. It's so good. And I don't even like strawberry cheesecake, and it's really good. But yeah, so this week, we're going to talk our gossip as we always do. And the 4 big shows I'm going to cover for the next couple months until, you know, we have more shows coming out. Real Housewives of OC. We're going to continue on OC. We're getting towards the end. We're in that final cast trip. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, obviously. Real Housewives of New York, and Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I have to be 100% honest here. I love Potomac the first 5 seasons. I have been in and out in the Potomac world mostly because, like, old New York was also hard for me. And those New York fans, y'all are diehard. So whenever I'm like, yeah, I wasn't super into, like, Luann and so, like, all those girls, New York fans are like, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's the best franchise. And I've watched a lot of it, so I get the moments. They are good, but sometimes when like one person like really annoys you, and Giselle's that person for me. But I'm going to get past it because even though I dislike Giselle, I like doing this podcast more. So we're not going to talk Potomac today because it was a premiere episode, and I feel like we got to gear into it. And I'm going to try to recap 3 shows and gossip. So let's just jump into it. Let's just jump into Salt Lake City. They're in Milwaukee, which I'm obsessed with. Like, I know they were getting a lot of like stuff online of like, you don't have Jen Shaw, go somewhere fun. But like, I kind of love it. And it really opens with them like downloading from the night before, just kind of breaking everything down. I think Salt Lake City, they have the best jammies. Like, go back, watch the opening scene. So obsessed. Look at Mary's lilac jammies. Producer Ezra, that would be a great anniversary gift because I like those. Angie and Whitney. So it's basically Angie and Whitney versus Lisa trying to use Meredith. Like they want to gang up on Lisa Barlow and use Meredith, and Meredith is like, I'm going to write to Lisa Barlow. And she does. And then Barlow's pissed. She's like, So then she tells Whitney she's not doing any group activity, and she takes Brittany, the girl who's dating the Osmond, some girl named Melly, and the rest of them go to the Miller Beer Caves, which looks really fun. Now, my question is, who the fuck is Melly? Why do we have so many friends up this season? It's way too much. It is like way too much. Like, I get they're like on season 5 now, right? Season 5. So I'm like, they should be adding more girls in, but they have like the majority of the OG still. So it's like, in order to bring more people in, please take some people out. And I mean that in the best way. Like, I love the girls, but it's too much. It's too much. And Salt Lake City, now for a long time, I could, like the rest of the general Bravo population, I couldn't tell Meredith and Lisa Barlow apart, but I got it down now. But when they bring in more people, I'm like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And I'm not like, that's Brittany. I'm like, Osmond girl, fashion girl. And like, Melly, who are you? Are you the real estate agent? Is Melly a friend of, or is she going to be like on that real estate Salt Lake City show Bravo's doing? Are they like trying to do a light Melly launch because she's going to be like the Kyle Richards of the show? I don't fucking know. I think that's a good theory I just came up with though. You heard it here, folks. So then they're like at the Miller Beer Cave. I hate saying that word. Oh my god. Miller Beer Cave. Miller Beer Cave. Miller Beer Cave. Okay. Mary likes Miller Lite, which I was shocked by. I think it's because they told her this is the champagne of beer. And then Lisa Barlow, they're over at the curling, she knocks some sense into Brittany about just kind of the whole hot messness of the whole Jared Osmond thing. And then Mary opens up about her familiar ties to Jeffrey Dahmer in Milwaukee. Yeah, producer Ezra he's like obsessed, not with Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm making producer Ezra sound like a serial killer. He likes the shows about murder. the Ryan Murphy show. Monster. Producer Ezra's like, I need the mic. He was like, you said I didn't need the mic today, but I do. So Mary opens up about her dad was like living on the same street, which is why season 1, when Mary told Jen Shaw she smelled like hospital and she didn't like it, that's why it's like generational trauma of just like the smell of dead people. When they're at Miller Lite though, the guy who's like guiding them, I want to call him their server, but he seems more like a concierge of Miller Lite. He's so hot. So hot. And then they all do some spooky Miller Lite like ghost stories. And then Whitney and Heather talk one-on-one, and Heather lets Whitney know about all of the businesses, about her, you know, Whitney's business, and about how they're saying it's on, what is it? I forget the name, Abishaw or something. But it's like, I guess, like kind of like a Temu for like businesses. And then Whitney immediately confronts Meredith about it in the Sprinter van. There's something about Salt Lake City and Sprinter vans. I don't know what it is, but it's just like when OC goes to Mexico, magic happens. When Beverly Hills is on a yacht, magic happens. When Salt Lake City is in a Sprinter van, magic happens. So they go then to the Harley Davidson Museum, and Meredith and Whitney just continue the fight in front of all these people and all this stuff. And then Angie like involves herself, which was interesting. Angie is working for that center snowflake. She was like, look, we need a Greek in the middle. I really think she thought that. But then her and Lisa Barlow like scream at each other, and Angie got up and like knocked her seat over, like kind of like a horse when they're like gearing up to like run. She's like, ha! But Lisa Barlow, like, do not bring kids into it. Angie though, like, I was like, the whole time I was like, she's a hot housewife this season. Like, I am liking her. You know what I like more than Angie though? Mary's dislike of Brittany, because I also dislike Brittany, but I like watching Mary dislike her. It is the funniest thing. Brittany makes an announcement at this dinner at the Harley Davidson Museum that her and her boyfriend broke up, although she just hasn't told him they broke up. It's like, why are you announcing you broke up? You didn't break up. It literally takes two people to break up. You can't just say you broke up, but you're like going to break up with them. That's insane. Like, that's truly insane. So then Bronwyn, which I'm like, we're not seeing enough of her this episode, you know? Come, drama baby. She asked Brittany if she's in love with him, and then Brittany just accuses Bronwyn of being with her husband for money. It was like, come on, cheap, cheap, cheap. Then they all go to the drag show. I was really sad to not see Trixie in the show. We saw a Trixie impersonator, which was fine, but I was expecting Trixie Mattel. This was maybe when she was like on her like little break though. And Trixie, I'm proud of you for taking that break, girl. You needed it. What do you guys think of Bronwyn's hot dog costume? I love it. I know a lot of people are like, I will say that is a costume. That wasn't couture, even though it was a couture costume. But I loved it. It was very camp to me. And then what I really did like though was Whitney's dress. Go back, look at Whitney's like hot pink dress. Like I was into it. And the episode just ends with like a dance off between the women. And I was like, not really a fan of that, but I'm sure we'll gear up for more. We're hoping the best for Salt Lake City. What are we hoping for the best but expecting the worst? Like, I hate to say it, I wish we had Monica back, but I don't want them to bring her back now because it seems like it's not authentic, the friendships, but I am missing her this season. Okay, Orange County. So it opens up with the women all getting mammograms, which I loved. I loved because I think it's cool. Like, I hate working out by myself, but today I went on a hike because my friend asked me to go with her, and I care about my friend's mental health. So it's like when you do stuff with your friends like that, like getting a mammogram wouldn't be top on my list, but if I had a group of girlfriends, I care about their health, so I'll go with them. And I just think it's good. It's good to talk about and take not shame away from mammograms. It's information. I love it. Alexis is batshit crazy for sending that text. It's absolutely insane to call someone you've been dating for 3 months your future husband to their ex. Like, that is batshit crazy. And obviously the text, Alexis is mad she wasn't invited to the trip because she won't get more screen time. That's why she's mad. Jen is really nervous. So at the hospital, Jen's really nervous because she has a lump in her breast. And she noticed it for 5 months without doing anything about it. Thankfully, though, it was just tissue from her boob job. But like, yeah, like, girl, go get things taken care of. There's something about Jen. I was talking to my cousin. I was like, something about Jen just reminds me so much of this family member we have. And in the best ways, there's something just so innately like lovable, even when like she doesn't know how to do things. Like, it's very lovable. Jen and Ryan then download on all the drama with Tamara and Ryan preps Jen for this trip. He goes, "You're going in, you're going to London, you're going to have a great time." And Jen says, "Okay." The women all get to the airport and they head off to London. Gina, though, definitely has the worst English accent. It's like so bad. The producers literally in her confessionals are like, stop, bad. I think there is an ad for JetBlue Mint in them flying JetBlue Mint and showing them so much that they're flying JetBlue Mint. But I don't care. I want to take JetBlue Mint to London. It looks so nice. It looks so fancy. It looks so cozy. Like, I like low-key, it made me want to be on an airplane. And I like, you know how some people are like, I hate traveling, but I love like being on the plane. No, I hate the whole experience. Normally, like, going to the airport, hate it. Being at the airport, hate it. Being on a plane, hate it. Getting off a plane, not bad. I do like that. Like, getting a little coffee after your plane, you know, I like that part. Everything else, though. But I was like, no, I would cozy up on that flight. I would watch a movie. I would I would just vibe out. Shannon gives everyone really, really nice gifts, but they are very expensive. Like those fancy scarves. Like, girl, you were going through a lawsuit. What are you doing, Shannon? So then the women are confused by what Shannon said on Jeff Lewis Live, because she basically kind of said it was a loan. And they're like, so you're saying it's a loan? Because you've been saying it's not a loan. So is it a loan or not a loan? But then they all go on this boat ride. Heather is not into this boat ride at all. Emily, hella into it. It reminds me so much of this boat ride I took when I was in Colombia, and I think we were in Cartagena, which is kind of like the Miami of Colombia. I kind of felt like just being like an American there. And we're on this boat ride, and it's a similar boat, so it's like going fast. And I just noticed I'm like kind of flying up, and I'm like, I have my friend like grab my waist and like keep me down, and then I noticed like I'm flying, and if my friend was not there to hold me down, I would be dead in the ocean in Colombia. So I get Heather's fear about those like boat rides in other countries, because sometimes they be crazy. So then all the women go out to dinner, and Heather's like, no one asked me about my mammogram. I asked you about your mammogram. No one asked me. And I get it. She's hurt. I would be hurt too. But it's so emotionally immature, because just don't do it at the dinner. Call them up right after. Be like, you bitches did not ask about my mammogram. It's just like, it's kind of, no, not kind of. It is emotionally manipulative, Heather. And Heather, normally I stand you, so it's real. And then Gina brings up exactly what I said. She should have said something sooner. Katie then opens up about how she's going to meet her biological family soon. I didn't really feel like it had anything to do with the conversation there. I felt she just needed to weave in her personal story more, which is fine. I get it. Heather feels used in how Shannon spoke with her, and they kind of get into this big fight about the whole Jeff Lewis stuff. And then Shannon says this weird line of like, the reality show and my real life are crashing together, and I'm like, they should be one. It's a show about your life, so your life shouldn't be separate than the show. You know, they should be kind of the same. I know they say work and home, two different places, but I guess it's different when you're making a show where your only job is to show your life. And then Shannon storms out, and she says she's extremely betrayed by Heather and Gina and everyone. And then Gina runs off to talk to her. And then Shannon's like, look, I got text from Alexis Bellino from 2018 that said, we're suing. And it's like, Shannon's like, I got a golden ticket. Like, you know how after the premiere episode, everyone was doing those like all those memes of Shannon? That was Shannon to Shannon. Perfect. Oh, hold on, you guys. We have some breaking Bravo news.
Beep, 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 beep. We're interrupting your regularly scheduled recap for this Bravo news.
Okay. So Craig's brother got married. Not really Bravo news, but what is Bravo news is how good Paige and Craig looked. I'm obsessed. I love them. It's so good. And like I saw a lot of stuff online, like, are they really still together? It's like, obviously. Gene Simmons, guest judging Dancing with the Stars. Why was he there? He doesn't know how to dance. He felt very racist. He felt very sexist. He felt very racist and sexist towards our girl Phaedra, who did amazing. The rest of the judges gave her great scores. I think they give her like a 6 or like a 7. He gave her a 5. A 5. Like, you're a guest judge. Your job is to give a higher score, not a lower. Like, insane. Guys, keep voting for Phaedra on Dancing with the Stars. Like, I'm happy for her. She's doing good. I don't think she'll win, but I think she could go far, and I think that's really good for her. I love how, like, Phaedra's been on so many shows that on Dancing with the Stars, they just call her reality royalty. They don't say Phaedra from Real Housewives of Atlanta or Married to Medicine or Traitors. They say reality royalty. Jen Shaw's sentence got reduced to 2027. Will that mean we see her on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 9? Maybe. I hope not, Andy, though. Please. So Mary was on Watch What Happens Live this week. Guys, she was low-key actually like really, really good. Like actually really good. And Elle King was on there with her. Do you guys know Elle King? She's the singer Exes and Producer Ezra's like, the viewers don't need to hear you singing. I get it, but I like to sing. But Elle King is Mary Cosby's whisperer. Like, watch the episode, but you're like, oh my god, Elle King understands her soul. So the OC reunion filmed, and so let's talk about the seating chart. So we'll start on the left at the end. It'll be Katie, Jen, Gina, Shannon. Surprised, obviously Gina and Emily aren't together. Andy Cohen in the middle. We got Tamara Judge, Emily Simpson, Heather Dubrow, and then Alexis Bellino at the end. Obviously, they had to have Shannon and Alexis in different couches. I think it's how we all essentially thought it would be. I mean, we all knew it would be Tamara and Shannon. Okay, so I think we talked about 2 episodes ago, or maybe I didn't even talk about it on the podcast. Maybe I just made a TikTok about it. I can't remember. Joel Kim Booster, Housewife Hotel. Look up part 1 of the drama of what initially happened. But part 2, oh yeah, I talked about it last episode, so I did tell you guys about it. But he issued an apology. And look up the apology. Do I think he wrote this apology? No. Do I think his publicist wrote it? Possibly. Do I think Bravo and NBC Universal's lawyers wrote it and sent it to his publicist and said he had to? Yeah, that's what I think happened. So, I don't think we'll be seeing more of him on Bravo, sadly. Sadly at all. Okay, let's talk RHONY season 15. RHONY season 15, episode 2. You can run, but you can't hide. So Erin takes her mom to the wig place to get a wig because her mom's going through chemo, and it's just like, Erin's a really good daughter. I liked Erin last season, but she wasn't like my favorite. But I don't know, this season I'm like, she's resonating with me more. Uba joins her, and then Erin tries to talk about what's going on with Abe, but she won't really say what's going on, so Uba can't help her. And it's like, we'll talk more about the Abe and Erin stuff later, because I have a lot of thoughts. But Uba's like, cool, I can't really help you when you're not actually saying what's happening. Sai and Jenna get a coffee, and Sai's daughter is auditioning for LaGuardia, and Jenna gives advice on just like parenting and high schools and just all that stuff. And, then Sai apologizes to Jenna, and I don't know. Like, I think she apologizes because Jenna's like her best bet at this point. Sai's mad at Brynn, and she said she reached out to Brynn and left her on red. Now, that's not cool, Brynn. But as an Aquarius, when I get mad, I also do that. I ignore. I also ignore sometimes not on purpose. I wonder how many unread texts Brynn also has. Is it an Aquarius thing or is it nothing? Is it because we have childhood trauma? Maybe both. Sai says Brynn is different off camera, and she reads that carbon monoxide text. Woo! That was harsh. But then we see Uba working out, which pisses me off because literally the episode before, Uba went on about how she doesn't work out, how she naturally has this body. Like, what? Like, it would be one thing if she said that last season, then we see her working out, but you literally said it in the episode before. Like, come on. And editors, come on, flash back to it. Then we see Raquel and her family at home, and oh my lord, they are quite wacky, aren't they? In like a fun way. That dog, though. His anxiety, all the ways they feed him and cater to him. It's quirky. Then Brynn and Erin meet up, and it is not warm at all. I love Brynn, but she is giving mean girl vibes in that scene. Like, oh, hey. Like, it's just total mean girl vibes. Bryn felt like she forgave Aaron too quick, and that's why she brought it up again. That is so fucking emotionally immature and all about the ego. Like, it's clear that they're making up because they know they need to for the show to move forward. Like, it's too early for that big of a fight, you know? Jenna then goes rock climbing with her kid, and it's obviously like a big thing for her. She's so scared, but he's so into it. And I love like her whole family dynamic. It's very supportive, it's very loving. Like, you see her kid like hanging on her assistant. It's like, I want to be in their family. Like, looks fun, looks supportive, like all the things. And I was very proud of Jenna. Like, honestly, like I could tell it was really hard for her. And I'm also scared of heights, so I would be scared too. Jenna has a fancy new Bentley, but it's a hybrid. It's so much money. It's like insane. Then we see Aaron and Abe going out to lunch. Aaron then says the fight was about Bitcoin, that he sold their Bitcoin share without telling her, and then the stock went up, and then he was also hiding other financial things. Once again, like we talked last week with RHONY, I don't think it's just about the Bitcoin or the financials. Like, there's more. There's definitely more. And I don't know how much of it will really come out. Abe then does bring up, though, he feels like pressure to provide a certain lifestyle because she came from one way and he came from another, and I could see that for sure. And they got married so young. Like, they were babies. Like, I feel like I'm a child, and I'm like, Aaron had like 3 kids when she was 28, you know? Insane. It's so young. And then we see Rebecca, Bryn, and Jessel go to the helicopter pad because they're all going to the Hamptons, darling. Jenna Lyons, though, straight up forgets to tell them, though, she's not coming. Like, come on, Jenna. You have 5 assistants. One of them could let them know. And I get she just got a new car. She wants to drive the car, but still. And then Bryn was like, this is a great time to bring up the Scientology stuff. Girl, no. But Rebecca is like, I think Bryn was like, it's like talking to ChatGPT straight up. She got so robotic. She was like, say no comment. Say no comment. If they ask a question, just read a book. But Bryn's just like trying to ask her questions about Scientology. And that's what I can't get down about Scientology, is like other people of other religions will explain, like, this is what we believe, this is what we do, this is the practice. Like, I feel like there's no other religion I know of where they're like, just read the book. Just come inside. And I've never been to a Scientology building, but like, I had a friend who went to an audition at one, and they didn't know it was like a Scientology thing. So if you're a young actor in LA, be aware of anything that says Golden Era on any casting network, and it pays surprisingly well for one day. It's probably Scientology. But my friend went to one of the auditions, and he said there was just the feeling of someone constantly behind you, and you look and there's no one there. Ooh, Scientologists are probably coming to get me after this. So it just kind of ends with the whole weirdness of Scientology. And you know what I was saying? It's like, I saw online, it was like, if it was any other show, like Kenya Moore, she would have been on it the first episode. When Rebecca walked in, she'd be like, are you a Scientologist? So I hope they go that hard, and they're messy in all their messy housewife glory. So thank you so much for watching, hotties. Next week we'll have a guest host, and then please read our book club book. It's You Can't Have It All by Stassi Schroeder. Reviewing it with my grandma, last episode of the month. And I also realized it's coming out like right before Halloween, which I'm like, that's perfect, like for Stassi, you know. Follow us everywhere, and sending you all love.